This was state and county land. All we got to do is go to our county commissioners. We got to we holler a little, and then they change that land the way it needs to be. That's putting the power in the people's hands. That way, thank you.
Hey Roy, can I get you in here? Pete Santilli.
What's going on, folks? How are you?
Sorry, I shot over your head there.
No, that's okay. Let me see if I'm still on here. I'm live on the air still.
I'll leave you alone.
I'm going to make an announcement if you want to capture this on video.
Okay, sure.
Stay right there. I got to reconnect now. Hey, how are you? Listen, I had to reconnect here, and also we're going to call it a simulcast. Okay, we're simulcasting. I have a special announcement to make. If you guys can take me here, probably after the break, right? Taping me. There's no more tape, right?
Yeah.
He's actually recording me right now as I'm broadcasting live on the Pete Santilli show. I don't know if you have you guys seen the pictures of the First Amendment area signs, the brown ones? First of all, if you haven't heard of me and they've got you listening to me, let me tell you, my name is Pete Santilli, okay? And when I came here on property, we're going to be interrupted by the break here, I know we are, and I'll tell the story as I need to tell the story. I was told by a group of fine people who are working for the federal government. It was disclosed to me by the BLM, by a BLM representative, who I cannot name, that was involved in the meetings and how they decided to set up these First Amendment areas. And this person told me that she admitted that they made a huge mistake by setting up this First Amendment area. She said because it provoked something, it provoked a lot of emotion, she said. And they made a big mistake by doing that. And she said, what we actually intended to do by setting up that First Amendment area is what we intended to do, she said. Okay. Right after the break, here is the special announcement that I'm going to make. I have basically deemed the First Amendment area set forth by the stupid bureaucratic idiots at the BLM, at those bureaucratic meetings that they decided to give the people an area, designated area, without having to file for a permit. They literally told me that they thought that they were doing the people a benefit by setting up the First Amendment area to give people free reign without having to worry about getting permits. So they set up a corral area, okay? This morning, I shut down that First Amendment area, okay? I now have in my possession a brown sign, okay, of which I paid a portion of, all right, through my taxpayer dollars. On behalf of the American people, I have confiscated this sign. I said confiscated and taken it away from the First Amendment area. On behalf of the American public, okay, I'm going to say that this First Amendment sign will stay with me no matter where I go. It is a First Amendment area, and I will hereby designate it as a First Amendment area on behalf of all of the American public, okay? No First Amendment areas shall ever be set up by any government in any country where I'm living, okay? So BLM, I want you to be on notice. If you want this sign, okay, it's in much better hands in my possession than it is in yours. And if you want this sign, I want you to come and take it.
Molen Labe.
You come and take this fucking sign, okay? And that's from Pete Santilli. I have it and I hold it in trust on behalf of the American people. I have not stolen a sign. What I've done is I've brought First Amendment areas back into a full force constitutional thing, whereby this sign goes with me no matter where I'm at. It's considered a First Amendment area. Now, if the government says, oh, well, you know, it's our sign, there's no designation here saying that it's the government, they paid for it. Besides, we, the taxpayers, paid for this freaking sign. I'm putting the BLM on notice right now that no matter where we go as human beings, God sent us down here. He didn't set us up in freaking corrals like a bunch of animals like the BLM needs to do, okay? I'm Pete Santilli. I'm a former United States Marine, okay? And you BLM people need to grow some fucking balls and tear down those damn barricades. You shut down You shut down your unconstitutional operation. You do so on behalf of the American people and in support of the U.S. Constitution. And you know what? I want you, even if you have a Patriot Act that says that you can drone me for having this freaking sign. You know what I want you to do? If your law says that you can come after me because I have a First Amendment sign in my possession and you claim that it's yours, you know what? It's my sign. It's my First Amendment. Obviously, you have no regard for the Constitution of the United States. It is hereby held in trust on behalf of the American people. And if you have a law that says that I'm prohibited from doing this, then I want you to change the fucking law. How about that? Do that on behalf of the American people. I want you to stand down and stop being cattle thieves. I want you to stand down and I want you to release the boundaries in this 600,000 acre parcel where you've asked residents, human beings, you've corralled them. The tortoises are allowed to roam free. The cattle are not allowed to roam free, but at least they are roaming free before you get to them. The human beings here in this county, thanks to the Bureau of Land Management, under their court order, have less rights than a tortoise or a freaking steer here on the land that I'm on. Human beings shall not be corralled, and I hereby designate, ladies and gentlemen, I hereby designate any area that we go, if you want this sign, you want to carry it, a First Amendment area, okay? And if the BLM wants this sign, they can come and take it. Woo! You got to come and pry it from my cold, dead fingers. Yeah!
I wanted to show you that David Knight from InfoWars is here. Probably one of the finest reporters I've ever seen. Anyway, we're glad that you're out here, and it's a real pleasure to have you.
Well, thanks. I can't think of any place I'd rather be.
Okay. Well, I'll let him go. He's a busy man. That's David Knight right there. And sunrise in Bunkerville, April 11th. Alright, Pete's invited me along to go visit with the BLM command. So, Pete, what are we going to do?
First of all, I'm honored that I'm having a lieutenant colonel allow me to drive him to this command center right now.
Allow you to drive me.
Allow.
I always have drivers.
Hey, listen, we're going to go meet with them, and we're going to, I guess this is my third consecutive morning meeting with the quote-unquote good folks at the Gestapo-like BLM, and we're going to start setting them straight. We've got a great media campaign, a lot of people coming in from all over the country to defend our liberty and the U.S. Constitution, and we're going to start putting the fear of God in them as of this morning. So that's exactly what we're going to do.
So that's where we are now. Molon Labe, brother.
That's right, Semper Fi.
Out here.
All right.
I just want to say something, a type of observation. Of course, it's coming from the heart. You know, we've seen the leaders of this nation come up with lies and subterfuge to send our troops into areas where they can be in harm's way, many of them injured, killed, changed forever, whatever. They're willing to put them in that situation for their own aggrandizement, I mean the leaders, for their own power, for their own money. And we see the end results of that. And I'm speaking to those in the BLM and to the DHS, as I so often do, you know, the agents that are out there, the law enforcement officials, etc. I'm not even going to talk Constitution right now. I want you to see what's happening here. Okay? The government, your bosses, have done the same thing to you that they've done to the troops in these false wars. They've got you convinced that you need to do your job, whether or not a constitutional issue or not, but you're being put directly in confrontation with the American people. We're not the winners in this. Not you, not the people, but the powers that be. Do you see what's happening? I understand that you're noble, that you're dedicated, but we need to be dedicated for the right reason. And we're being divided right now. You thinking that you need to protect the interests of the government. It's certainly not about the tortoise. It's not even about the laws that are written. It's about standing up for the people that give you your paycheck and being dedicated and loyal to your cause. They're playing us off each other, okay? We're all going to lose in the end, actually, unless we all come together. I'm not sure how to, isn't that nice? I'm not sure how to accomplish that, because you want to be right and we want to be right. But we all need to get right. What's it gonna take, guys? Standing against the American people ain't the way to do it. I guess another way of me saying it is that you know, the troops are usually, you know, loyal and dedicated. They're really not the enemy in that regard. It's who you serve that decides whether you're the enemy or not. Maybe not by your own choice of being the enemy, but when you serve a tyrant, even if you're dedicated and loyal to your job, if you're serving a tyrant, you're serving evil. And it's wrong for your leaders to put you in this position. It's wrong. But that's why we have choices to make. So let the choices be made. And the truth will fall where it may. Victory is not necessarily proving that either side is right. That's why principle is so important. But I guess principle, even the meaning of principle, gets demeaned and ruined, twisted. Well, I could just go on for a long time explaining that, but no matter how hard I explain it, everyone will think they're in the right. Today is the 11th still, and the rally and all that's going on here is getting more and more attention. We have loads of media here. CNN's there in that big vehicle there now. They're the establishment to give the other side of the story. No, they're not kidding anybody. Anyway, we've got lots of people, more coming. There's a big demonstration in Las Vegas, I guess, right now. So hundreds and hundreds of people are down there, and there's some kind of a speech being given by someone. I'm not sure exactly who. I guess Stuart Rhodes from Oath Keepers is supposed to be here, and Sheriff Mack, and I guess a bunch of people from Washington D.C. and all of that. I did go with Pete Santilli today to meet the BLM and the special agent in charge, and you know, they believe that they're doing their part to uphold the Constitution, and of course we are. So we're at a stalemate, so we're gonna have to see what happens here. But we all know that or we should know anyway, that just as the bank stole our money in the 2008 bailout, 2009 bailout, our government's given our land to these international corporations and are kicking Americans off the land that they've been living on and surviving on for, you know, over 200 years now. So this is a war. It's a war of information, a war of propaganda, and a war of spirit. Those BLM guys didn't seem to be like bad people. They think they're dedicated and loyal. Well, they are dedicated and loyal, but you know, so are the Nazis, and I hate to brand them the same way, but it's just the way it is. And I'm sure that, you know, they have families, they want to do a good job, but the enemy is this government and the people that control it. And unfortunately, those BLM officers work for that enemy, so that makes them in the same category, and it's very, very sad. More on this later. Well, they asked my buddy Brand to give the dedication prayer for this meeting today, and there he is. Isn't that just fantastic? There he is, giving the prayer. Good old Brand, and I'm sure it'll be a great one. Unfortunately, I'm not close enough to hear it. There he goes. I wish I had a better picture of him, but there he goes. Fantastic. What a guy. That's Dave Bundy there. He was the one that was first beat up and arrested by these BLM guys earlier in the week. This guy is harmless. He has no animosity. He's a soft-spoken, most soft-spoken guy you can possibly imagine. And this lady over here was apparently thrown down. I guess she's a lady that's had some illness and was injured by that group that had the confrontation on Tuesday, I believe it was. Okay, I couldn't think of a truer statement that could possibly be made. Alright, well, today's the 12th, and I'm up on this hill up above the demonstration area, and as you can see, this is a good place to get a really good idea of what's down there. There's the stage right there, and we're going to have some high-profile speakers today. I understand Sheriff Gillespie, although he sure isn't much of a sheriff, is going to be here. But as you can see, this is a commanding area spot of the area. That CP of the BLM is up there on that mesa. You can see it with the magnification on this. But the question is, what are you doing up there, Roy? Why are you up here? Well, I wouldn't put it past these guys to pull a false flag, have a sniper shoot one of the guest speakers, especially the sheriff, and blame it on militia or extremists or whatever, you know, conservatives, Christians, gun owners, you know what I mean. So I'm doing a flush, really. Now, what I'm doing isn't foolproof. It's not fail-safe, but it gives me an idea of what the escape routes are in case a shot is fired, where they might go to escape if I miss them while they're here. Of course, all I have to really look at is places where you get a good shot. So I've got a little bit more to do here, looking along the different edges. But that's what I'm doing, and hopefully I find nothing and they're not going to be that nasty. All right, so out here. Victory, victory. Blessings from God. That's what this is. We didn't do it. God did it. I'd like to tell you that I'm really emotional right now. But, God did this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you. I know that really firsthand. Okay? God did this. God did it. I want you to know. God did this. He softened men's hearts. We turned the tide, and he made sure it happened. Okay? And there's the guy that blew the shofar to bring all this to happen.
I know better.
First cow home. The rest of them are coming down this river bottom, but there's the first one. He must have been in a big hurry to get out of that crowd. He probably ran most of the way. So he's free grazing again now. You can look up the river there. I don't know if you can see it, but there are a bunch of cattle being driven by a cowboy up there, so they're on their way. It's a success, at least this stage of it. In case you didn't know, there was another standoff at the corral at the BLM camp or compound. They threatened to shoot American citizens trying to get up there to get these cattle out. They were going to shoot them. A SWAT team, the BLM SWAT team was going to shoot American citizens, men, women, and children. They threatened to do that. Nothing but cowards. And we'll be talking more about that later.
Everyone around the world right now is extremely strong. What happened? Now, please allow me to...
Well, this is how we relax. We're both hoarse. It's April 13th in the afternoon. What do you want to say, Brent? It's been a hell of a week. What do you think?
I can't wait to get home and get a shower.
Yeah, we both smell like the cow dung out here in the fields.
The cow dung smells better than us, I'm sure.
Anyway, it's been quite an experience. It's not over with yet, but at least the initial, I guess you want to call it, confrontations are done for now. I think we're taking some precautions. I just want to say this to, you know, the guys that were in the militia or anybody else who took part in that whole thing. Listen, you know, you guys need to, like I said in that one video, have a sentry, have an alert system, an alert roster. Well, enough for now. We're gonna kind of take it easy. Brandon, you want to say so long for now?
So long for now. Hope we continue to be able to, Roy and I hope to be able to continue this on a regular basis. We decide this is what we want to do. I'm hoping things will financially work out, and we're going to make this our lifestyle. And you know, we hope you see us in these situations on a regular basis. So, and we're going to try and be educational. We're going to try and be peaceful. But you know what? We have the right to defend ourselves.
That's right.
Over and out.
Self-defense is an inherent right, even against a cop that's standing in front of you saying, don't resist when you're not, and then he bludgeons you to death. You certainly have a reason to defend yourself against an unlawful arrest. I don't care what anybody tells you, at least from this point on, because they can't be trusted to do the right thing. All right, out here.